Merry Christmas.
Well, here we are. It's mid-December and the year is winding down, and we are approaching Christmas. So, naturally, at this festive time of the year, we are looking for only one kind of film to go see. Why, that's horror, of course. Look, I love horror, but it has not been a strong year for the genre. For every Abigail and Terrifier 3 we've had many other duds. Now, this past weekend gave us the release of Werewolves, a new action horror movie starring Frank Grillo. So what do we have here? Is Werewolves a late in the year surprise hit? Or is it another weak horror film like so many others this year? Well, before we answer that, let's talk a little bit about the plot for the film Werewolves.
Let's chat.
So a supermoon event triggers a latent gene in every human on the planet, causing everyone exposed to the moonlight to mutate into werewolves, killing millions overnight. Now it's a year later. The world attempts to prepare for another supermoon event. Scientists are working on a potential way to block the effects of the moon. Meanwhile, one of the scientists, Wesley Marshall, is torn between his duty to the world and his duty to the wife and daughter of his brother, who died in the first supermoon event trying to help people. Marshall secures the house and goes off to the lab. However, the experiment goes horribly wrong, and now Wesley Marshall has to go on the run, avoid the moon and the werewolves, and try to get back to his family and protect them, and pray that they all live to see the sunrise. So what works in this film? I love Frank Grillo. He's a great badass in everything he's in. If you're making a movie and you have a character who's a gritty, mature, tough guy, you need to cast him as your guy. He usually plays this type of character well, and he does a great job here. And the rest of the cast does a solid job with the script they are given. It's also nice to see Lou Diamond Phillips on the big screen, even in a limited role. If you like blood and guts, you will enjoy this, as there is carnage galore. Plus, the premise of the film is fairly interesting.
Oh, that must have been a pretty gory spectacle.
What doesn't work here as well, it's not exactly the strongest script. Things that you want to learn more about are kind of glossed over, while other aspects are overplayed. A lot of the dialogue is silly and over the top. And the CGI effects, they're a bit tacky and remind me of a cosplay. It definitely is not a big budget film. But you know what? I had fun with this. It's no great shakes. It won't go down as a hit or even a great horror movie this year. But it embraces its B-movie nature and does so unapologetically. So by no means the smartest and most coherent movie of the year, but it's a real triple threat of bullet casings, bloody knuckles, and big bad werewolves. And don't pretend like you don't want to see Frank Grillo fistfight a werewolf. It's definitely a B-movie, but I mean that in the best possible way. Definitely not something you should see in the theaters, but if you like action, horror, and blood, it's the perfect streamer for a cold winter night.
Let's go watch a movie at your place or something.
Well, that's it for me this week. Tune in next week where I give you my thoughts and feelings on whatever I've seen. In the meantime, click that like button, subscribe, leave a comment or a question, share this video with friends and enemies alike, and as always, thank you for giving me your valuable time, and I'll see you next week. Take care.